Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of the live counter review using technical analysis. So before I start the session, I'd just like to wish everyone a very happy new year. I hope you all have good health as well as good wealth in this year ahead. And good to see some familiar names. Also, if you're new, welcome. So for today, the session will be the same as the sessions I did like last year. So in terms of the flow, first I will talk about the US economic calendar. Then afterwards, I will talk about some of the various indices and commodities. Then afterwards, I'll go through some of the more important sectors like the Max 7, US banks, US semicons, EVs. Then also, last but not least, I'll also go through any questions that you all have in the Q&A. Yeah, so if you have any counters that you all want me to go through, just feel free to type the counters in the Q&A. But just try to keep it to about 3 per person so you give everyone a chance for their questions to be answered. Yeah, so without further ado, I'll begin. So in terms of economic calendar, this week we have some upcoming events. So uh, oops. Okay. Yeah, so in terms of the events this week tonight, there's ISM manufacturing PMI. So that's gonna be out at 11 p.m. Then uh going to tomorrow there's the S&P Global composite PMI. So that's at 10:45 p.m. Wednesday, we had the usual API crude oil stock, 5:30 a.m. ADP non-farm employment change, 9:15 p.m. Afterwards, ISM non-manufacturing PMI, 11 p.m. Jobs job openings, 11 p.m. Crude oil inventories at 11:30 p.m. Okay, then Thursday, there's FOMC Bowman speaking at 5:10 a.m. The usual jobless claims at 9:30 p.m. Then Friday will be the important one where there's the non-farm payrolls. So that's 9:30 p.m. on Friday. Yeah. And afterwards, there's also the Michigan inflation and consumer expectations at 11 p.m. So yeah, every day about like some data coming out. But the most important one will be this Friday, 9:30 p.m. is the jobs data. Yeah. So that's for the this week's economic calendar. So next one, I'll move on to some of the indices and commodities. So first up, I'll talk about Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin currently we're seeing some in terms of the price action, some strength coming in after price managed to break above this 90K to about 91K area resistance over here. So it's currently around 93K. So I think over here 90 the resistance probably around is starting to enter the resistance area where 93K to about 96.7 about there will likely be the resistance based on previous breakdowns over here. So I think that's for Bitcoin in terms of resistance. In terms of short-term support, most likely it could come from the 5 MA to 10 MA area over here, probably around 89 to about 91K area. So that's for the short-term wise. In terms of the weekly wise, starting to look a bit better. If you can hold the 5 MA, last week it closed above the 5 MA after trending downwards. Yeah, so you can hold this level around 90,000. I think we could see some in the short term wise, we could see some rebound taking place. Yeah, so 90,000 would be a very key support to hold for Bitcoin. Okay, next one I'll move on to the indices. So first up is Dow Jones. So this Dow Jones, I think overall is still pretty strong. Just still holding in this generally this uptrend channel over here and just moving sideways since mid-December. So overall some resistance at 48.8K and support is around this 48K area over here. It's moving sideways. And I think this this level is quite important around the Friday swing low 47.8K is quite important as support. Because of this horizontal swing low and in general this channel support as well. So overall, we could still see possibly some sideways price action, but overall still bullish. Then if you can break above 48.8K, most likely we could see the uptrend continue towards 49K and 49.2, 49.3K next. And so overall, it's still bullish for the Dow Jones as long as it holds 47.8K. Yeah. And next one I'll talk about is Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, I think is in a is in a consolidation. Yeah. So for Nasdaq, this is my chart. So I think it's generally within this wedge consolidation over here. So higher swing lows along the way, but also lower swing highs currently. Then horizontal resistance around 23.5, 23.6K area. So I think we're still seeing, most probably we could still see some consolidation take place. Support probably from the trend line is around 23K, and then lower one is there's a swing low 22.7K about that. Then from the trend line resistance about 23.5 as well as 23.6, which is also the horizontal resistance area. So I think for now, most probably we are approaching the end of this consolidation over here. Then I think we decide a direction, whether it's a breakout, whether it's a breakout or downwards, it will likely decide the next move for Nasdaq after the consolidations from start of November. Yeah, so I think something to watch out for with the direction of this breakout over here. Yeah, the next one is S&P 500. S&P 500, I think still some resistance for after last week we tested 6,920, this previous all-time high. So some resistance over here, some pullback. But overall, positive signs are that still higher swing lows being formed along the way. And then in terms of moving averages, also I think around 50 MA, there's some support. So probably 6,800 will be a support. 50 SMA currently. Yeah. Then in terms of resistance, will probably be around 6,875 to 6,945 area. So still some range consolidation. Unless you can try to break above this 6,920, then we could possibly see higher highs ahead. Yeah, so in terms of the indices, I would say still in consolidation mode. For now, yeah. In terms of Dow, Nasdaq, as well as S&P, then we see whether the direction of the breakout from the range. Next one I'll talk about is gold. So gold some rebound today. Rebounding from the 20 SMA level, this yellow line. But I think short term wise, there could still be some resistance after this strong bearish candle on 29 December. Where made price go down below 4380 over here. So in the short term wise, I would think maybe some sideways consolidation is possible with resistance of like 4,450 to about 4,550 area, this recent area. Support most likely will be the recent swing lows to do a range. So like 4275 to about 4380 is likely to be a support. Yeah. So I think for gold, most likely you could do some sideways price action. Yeah. And next one is WTI oil. So for oil, I think overall still in the downtrend. Then short term wise is in this downtrend channel over here as well. So a bit of sideways, but for it to gain some strength, I think we need to see price break out above 58.5 over here, this resistance, as well as this horizontal resistance, as well as the channel resistance. So that's it. Then next level will be around $60. Yeah, and then currently support most likely 56, swing low level. So we could still see some kind of sideways price action for now. Yeah, for oil. Then 56 will be an important level to hold because this was like the year low levels that held support a few times in 2025. So if it fails to hold this level, most likely we will see some lower support levels to come for oil. So yeah, most likely range bound within this area currently. Next one I'll talk about the VIX. Yeah, so for the VIX, I think currently facing some resistance from 20 MA recently. Overall still relatively low, currently like around 15. Support wise, I would think it's around 12.7 to 14.3 area, which was generally the support last year. Then resistance wise is moved probably like 16 to 18.5 area. So should be still, I think VIX wise should be still quite a range bound for now, and just relatively just moving sideways at this area. Then last one I'll talk about for the indices and commodities would be copper. Copper is still some rebound today, but I will expect some resistance to still hold like 5.88 to about 6 over here. Yeah, then support wise, most likely could trail along the 10 MA level, which is currently around 5.67, and lower level swing low is like 5.55. I'll talk about silver as well, since also all the metals have went up. So in terms of silver, yeah, currently I think it's likely to be still quite volatile. So some pullback from this 83.7 level, then currently it's holding support around the 10 ME level and horizontal level wise around 70.5. So I think for the uptrend to continue, we need to see price hold um this 10 ME around 72.6 to actually continue. But for now, I think most likely it could just do a bit of a range bound with resistance probably 78.5 onwards. Yeah. Then the next key support level will be 70.5 needs to hold. If not, we most likely we could see the price go downwards if 70.5 breaks. Yeah, so that's for the metals. I'll move on to the sector. So first sector I'll talk about is the Magnificent Seven. Yeah. So for Mag 7. Yeah, first one for Mag 7. I'll talk about the index first. Let me just adjust my drawings a bit. Okay, so in terms of the Max 7, I would say generally the key levels. Yeah, the key thing to watch will still be this uptrend support line over here. Recent price action is moving sideways over here since in December. So resistance was like around 66.8. Yeah, I would think that today will be quite important. So to last Friday, we tested this trend line support again. We need to see a bullish candle come in to hold this trend line over here. That will be quite important for it to try to possibly break out this like ascending triangle over here. So generally still quite range bound. Yeah. So first thing to see whether today needs to hold this support. If it does, then the next thing we'll see will be 66.8, whether it can break out this. If you can break out this, then most likely we'll see the Max 7 stocks going up. Yeah. But for now, just sideways. If it fails to hold 65.2, the last level to hold will be this swing low, 64.3 around there. If this fails to hold, then most likely we could see some bearishness for the Max 7 counters. So still range consolidation, but this is key. I think everyone needs to see quite closely where the index is going. Same with the Nasdaq I shared earlier, which is also in the consolidation phase. Yeah, so that's it for the index as a whole. Next one, I'll move on to the individual counters. So starting off with Meta. Yeah, for Meta, I think right now it's range consolidation. So there's some overall resistance is generally around like 675 to around 690 area, which was like previous support breakdown level. So that's still holding and just moving range bound for now. Then support 638 around there. So I would think this range bound will be continue for now. Yeah. So as long as 638, this swing low is still holding, then it's still okay. This needs to maintain for it to attempt to break out this like 675 to 690 resistance. If not, if this breaks down, then we could see a weakness coming back in for Meta again. Yeah, so for now it's just still range one, but watch the range levels to decide the next direction. Next one is Apple. So Apple, I think for now some weakness in terms of the price action. Previously it was very steady uptrend upwards along this uptrend support line. Then higher highs, higher lows, very steady, where it just form range. And then we see breakouts along the way. But over here, it changed when middle of December over here, where price uh, uh, moved sideways over here at the support of 276 horizontal breakout level. And then this day it broke below these two supports, where this the horizontal support as well as the trendline support with a quite a large body bearish candlestick. So that went down to retest the swing low support around 266, then just moving sideways for now. Yeah, then some rejection, or some resistance when it back tested 276 on Friday. So I think for now, still in the short term wise, is a bit bearish with the break of structure over here. I think for now, most likely still do a bit of range consolidation with resistance still holding 276 to about 280. And support is still likely to go at 266 this area over here. So I'm expecting some range bound consolidation. Yeah. Then in terms of the weekly wise, starting to show some weakness where previously it was trailing at the 5 and 10 MA weekly as a support. So now 275 above there will be some resistance, unless it can break above and hold over there. So I think for now, most likely we see some range bound consolidation take place for Apple. Then 266 need to hold. If not, we could see lower levels like 257. Next one is Amazon. Yeah, for Amazon is the chart. So for Amazon, I think it's still a bit bearish since the breakdown of this 236, 266 over here. There was a brief short period of a short period of it trading above 236. Then subsequently we see the retest finding resistance, and also like last Friday, also around here some resistance. So I think for Amazon, it could be in this ascending triangle right now. So the key will be to see whether this trend line support is able to hold, like 223, 224. So over here, I think this week will be important to see whether support comes in. If support comes in to hold this, I think we could still continue this consolidation and see whether it can attempt to break out 236 again. But if it fails to hold, then if it breaks below this 223 level about there, then potentially we could see some lower levels again, like this 221 as well as 216. Yeah, so this is a consolidation right now. We need to see the direction of the breakout as well. Next one I'll talk about is Netflix. Yeah, so Netflix, I think overall is still quite bearish in terms of the price action. Since the breakdown of like this, we can see multiple breakdowns like 114, 107, 103. Then most recently Friday, there was also another breakdown of this range consolidation, 92.7. So that's still bearish for now. So I think Netflix, we might still see some weakness. Yeah. So overall, the next key level I would think is around 85, 86. This area previously, like around 82 to 86 area. I think this will be probably a support that could hold the price. Yeah, but so for now, still weakness for Netflix. Let me see in terms of the longer time frames. Currently approaching 100 SME weekly. Yeah, so I think that will be another level, but let's see whether it can hold over here for some bounce. But overall price structure is still pretty weak. And next one is Alphabet. Okay, for Alphabet, I think is for my chart, it got out of a range, a consolidation where sorry, in terms of the price action, but generally still a bit range bound over here. So because price was there was a breakdown previously at 314 over here, then did a recovery, then doing sideways over here. So I think still need more signs of confirmation to see whether it can try to break upwards again. Yeah, for now, to see whether it will go upwards, need to see whether it can hold the triple moving average over here, like 312 to 314. Also, there was also range consolidation previously over here, so this needs to hold as well as some of the trend lines over here. Yeah, so if you can hold this area as support, then there could be a chance for it to recover back upwards to test the previous highs, like 327, 328 about there. So that's for Alphabet. Still a bit sideways. In terms of weekly wise, I think still okay. Yeah, generally still sticking along the 5 MA weekly for now and above the 10 MA weekly. So generally still bullish for now, just a bit sideways in the short term. Then last one I'll talk about is Microsoft. Now, Microsoft in terms of price action also a bit weak for now. So one thing is that it has continued to stay below 497, which is this double top range breakdown level. So this was previously support, continue to hold as resistance where price is just trading sideways. Resistance become like 492 right now, and then support is like 465 in terms of the swing low. So just moving sideways over here. So I think it's a bit still weakness. Yeah. So for now, I think with the range will still continue. 465 might still hold as support if there's another retest. Yeah, but generally still a bit weak. Yeah, and 465 needs to hold. That will be important. If it doesn't, then we most likely could see the weakness continue towards like 450, around 450 there next year. So that's for Microsoft. So to sum up the Max 7, I would think it's a bit of a divergence right now. So we see some generally most are a bit range one. I think strongest one right now probably would be like Alphabet. But most are in the range consolidation. There's still some weak ones like Netflix, like Microsoft. In terms of the index earlier, MEGS also quite range bound. So I think we really need to see what's the next direction to come, whether it's a break outwards or a break downwards. Yeah. For now, I think most important thing is just look at the range and see where's the direction of breakout. Then next one I'll talk about, the next sector I will talk about is the financials. Yeah, so financials, I will talk about this XLF, which is this spider financial sector ETF, as well as the big four US banks. So in terms of the financials, I think overall we can see that still very strong in terms of the price action since it broke above this 53 to 54 resistance area. And yeah, still very nice price action, higher highs and also higher lows over here right now. So generally some support from the 10 MA and 20 MA tested on Friday. So I think as long as it holds 54 for this XLF over here, I think overall still bullish. Yeah, then for now it's still quite a strong uptrend price action for XLF right now. Then I'll move on to the four banks. So first one is JP Morgan. So in terms of JP Morgan, I think it's trading in this uptrend channel over here. So right now, recently higher high also backtest the breakout at 322 found support. As well, it's also around the 10 MA level. So there's some bound, I think some bounce to come. Short term wise might do some range bound trading as it's near the upper end of this channel. So it might be between 322 to about 331 right now, I feel. Maybe some range bound trading. As long as 322 holds as support, then I think still okay. In the short term, it could stay at the top end of this channel over here. Yeah. The next one is Bank of America, also uptrend channel over here that I have. So for Bank of America, last week mentioned some pullback from the channel trendline resistance, but found support at 20 MA, $55. And yeah, around here is so for now I would think maybe some sideways trading as well. So as it's near the top end of this range, maybe someone could be trading between like 54.40 to about 56.80 about there. Yeah, could be seeing some sideways consolidation, but overall still very bullish for Bank of America. Next one, Wells Fargo. Yeah, for Wells Fargo, I think overall it's also very bullish since the breakout has been just higher highs, higher lows along 10 MA. Then Friday open a bit lower, but also continue to close quite well. So I think overall with that, we could see the uptrend. Most likely, we could see the uptrend continue to form higher highs. Higher highs to come. In terms of resistance, maybe could be found from a trend line. So I think this one just most likely higher highs to come. Yeah. Next possible resistance maybe around $98 above. Then last one I'll talk about is Citigroup. So for Citigroup, also bullish in terms of the charts. Also recently high, some pullback last week, but found support at 10 MA, 170 about there, and Friday close outwards. So I think we could see some rebound continue this week, and maybe try to retest 123 again, this level. Yeah, so in general for the banks, we can see that for financials, it's very clear defined in terms of the charts. It's very strong in terms of price action. The index also supports that as well. So I think this sector is still showing strength since the breakout in December. Yeah. Okay, next sector I'll move on is semicons. Okay, for semicons, I would think right now is most likely some consolidation, but I think it's still quite bullish. Overall, I would think it's in terms of, okay, so I'll go through this first, the Philadelphia Semicon Index, XOX. So I would think it's in the ascending triangle consolidation with this higher highs along this uptrend support line and key resistance which tested about 3 times at around like close to 7,100 for 7,400 about there. Yeah, so I think Friday retested again. So let's see whether you can try to break out this this consolidation soon now. So I think overall it's still quite bullish for this this SOX, higher swing lows and multiple tests of resistance. Okay, next one I'll move on to some of the individual semicon companies. So starting off first with Nvidia. So Nvidia, I think in terms of the chart, I think since the break of this 184 on the 23rd December, I think it become a bit more bullish. So basically it was pulling back and moving sideways. But a good thing is that held the range 171 and then managed to break out this 184 range resistance and now it's just moving sideways at a higher level. So I think that's okay. Support for now probably be around 186, 187. I think the recent swing lows as well as the 10 MA level. Then in terms of resistance, I think the next key resistance to watch will be around 195, which was previously this big gap up after the earnings. Then there was a sell off on higher volume. So this will be a key level 195, and the next one will be around like 203. This level over here. Yeah. So for Nvidia, I think it's looking better as long as it maintains above 184. And it looks like for now it's trading sideways, a bit sideways at a higher range. That's for Nvidia right now. The next one is AMD. So AMD, I think it's also quite a range. Yeah, for now, good thing is I held the 203 horizontal support level. Then range resistance was at 225, which tested on Friday. Today, I saw pre-market right now, there's a gap up. So I think if it can hold above 225, possibly we could see price test higher levels like 240 would likely be the next key resistance. 240, then followed by 263. So for AMD, let's see whether it will be good if price can get out of this range over here and hold the resistance 225 around there as support. Yeah, then we can possibly see higher levels being tested again. Next one, TSM is probably the one of the most bullish right now. So TSM, I think, broke out of a range over here. So it was range consolidation like between 280 to 310. So yeah, so it was a breakout of this range around like $30 range. So it project upwards, possibly target could be about 340s over here. So Friday, nice open above the resistance and then close quite well also on high volume. So today, as of now, pre-market is gapping up. I think we will likely still continue this momentum to go upwards. Yeah, so let's see whether it can try to hit 340, the projected target level. So for TSM, new 52-week highs. Next one, ASML also new highs as well. Yeah, so for ASML, I think it's also for now quite bullish. Last Friday, it was a big gap up on high volume where it closed above this this swing high 1,141 as well. So I think with that, most likely we could see price going higher. Yeah, as long if you can maintain above this trend line resistance, then I think we could see price going higher. So in the short term wise, yeah, it's bullish momentum. And I think support wise could be somewhere along the 5MA. Yeah, and also for now, probably like if it does feel any gap of Friday 1,170, that might be the support. So for ASML also very bullish right now. The next one is another bullish counter, Micron. Yeah, for Micron, since the breakout of this range after the earnings, where it managed to close back about 260, it continued to form new highs. So a bit of consolidation, and then Friday, very strong bullish candle. So today, with that, another gap up. So I think most likely we will still see continuation upwards. And support most likely come from the 5MA over here, where over here was holding 5MA. I think if there's any pullback, there will still be some support around the 5MA level. So that's another 52-week high counter. Next one, I'll go through three more: Marvell, Broadcom, as well as Intel. So for Marvell, Okay, so for Marvel, this one is I would think overall it's still in the uptrend. If you look back since April, it's just quite volatile. Still higher swing highs and higher swing lows being formed along the way. Yeah. So in the right now, in the short term wise, looking a bit better where this was a consolidation area. Then price on Friday broke above 87 and then yeah, close above that. Today pre-market is a bit of a gap up. So I think we could see price go higher to surge for about 94, 95. This would be the next horizontal resistance. There's also a gap previously as well. So around here, 90s, I would think 94 to 97 will be the next resistance that it could test in the short term. Yeah. Then afterwards, it will be the next, this swing high around 103, close to 102.77. Yeah, so for Marvel, looking better if it continues the momentum right now. Next one is Broadcom. So for Broadcom, I think for now there's a bit looking a bit weaker compared to the rest. So for Broadcom, in terms of my chart, the price of there was a breakdown of this upwards support line over here. Then yeah, right now I think some resistance is facing some resistance around this 360 level, this horizontal level. Yeah. And then next level of resistance probably around 370 about it. So in terms of short term wise, I think some resistance, but yeah, for now needs to hold. For now, for Broadcom, try to reverse out, it needs to hold this 5 and 10 MA levels right now, like 345 to 349, as well as this was also a range like last week. So needs to hold it as support, then there could be a chance of it going upwards. Yeah, so for now, I would think most likely some range bound consolidation first, yeah, for Broadcom, since a bit weaker than compared to the rest. Then next one, Intel, last one for the semicons. Intel, I think overall it's overall I think it could be trading within an ascending triangle. So this is the resistance at 42, around 42.50, and then uptrend upward support line over here. On Friday, I think it's looking better in terms of price action where it broke out this horizontal resistance, $38. And I think it could yeah, for currently pre-market is about 41. So over here, there might this was still be a retest of a breakdown and support. So there might be some resistance here, and then followed by 42.50 onwards again. Yeah, so I think for this, still most likely consolidation, but as long as higher swing lows being formed and then another retest of resistance, we could be seeing a breakout of this ascending triangle next time in future. Yeah, so for semicons, I think overall still very bullish. There's still a few counters, 52-week highs. And for the index wise, I think it's pending a breakout of this consolidation. Yeah, so if today closes above that, then I think it will be quite good for a continuation in general for the sector. Yeah, so that's for the semicons. I'll move on to the last sector. In terms of EVs, yeah, so for the EVs, yeah, first off, we'll start with Tesla. So for Tesla, I think for short-term wise, a bit bearish. So after it tested the previous December high 488, then coincidentally, it took 1 year to go back to retest this level, and then afterwards, some did a sideways over here. Then over here, it showed some weakness when it failed to when it broke down below the 10 MA, 479. Then afterwards, we've seen price breakdown a few levels over here where it filled the gap. 456 retest also didn't hold. Then Friday also higher volume, and then also facing resistance from the 5 MA. So it tested the swing low here like 430, 435. Okay, I think there might be some slight bounce from this level after it tested this swing low, but I think overall resistance should be around could be around 457. This level could be the resistance for now. Yeah, then if it breaks below, if it breaks below the Friday lows, then most likely you could search for some lower levels, most probably this area. So that will be the key level will be like 418 based on the horizontal level. 418 to 428, this area will be the next support. Yeah, then there's also a trend line support over here as well. So I think if it does test this level along with the horizontal levels, I think this hold as a strong support in the short term wise. But for now, yeah, there could be some slight rebound and some resistance from the recent breakdown level. So that's for Tesla. Yeah. Then next one, some of the Chinese players Xpeng in terms of the chart. Nothing much, just quite range bound still. Yeah. So resistance around 22 needs to get past this to try to break towards 24. Yeah. Then in terms of support wise, a bit of a higher low currently like 19.7 about there. So this is a hold as a range to try to go upwards. And for new, yeah, for new, yeah, also just range bound, but also still some resistance above 5.3 over here. So I think could be still in the range between like 4.8 to 5.3. Then for Rivian, last one, yeah, Rivian is a bit better in terms of higher highs, higher lows. So some pullback currently, I think needs to hold like 18 to 18.4 this level of breakout. Then we could see some rebound. And short-term resistance is like 20.7 onwards. Okay, that's it for the EVs. I'll move on to the counters that you all have in the Q&A. Yeah, so first up, high BY. Your counters Adobe, Oracle, and Grab. Yeah, okay, so first take a look at Adobe. Yeah, so for Adobe, I think for this counter, Friday wasn't good. Yeah, so the thing for Adobe is that I think the 362 is still a very strong horizontal resistance over here, despite the recovery above 333 earlier in December. So it did a range consolidation, but unfortunately, it broke below some of the moving averages support again. So with that, I think yeah, we could see some weakness come back in. If it fails to hold 333 again, I think we could see the price coming back towards like three closer to 320 to 327 this area again. Yeah, for Adobe. Yeah, so still some weakness overall because 362 is still resistance. Yeah. Okay, next one, Oracle. So I think for Oracle, I think it's looking a bit better in terms of the chart. I think there could be a potential for some rebound in the short term. Okay, so because I was looking at the chart, then there was a breakdown below 186 over here. Then, but it was relatively short-lived, and then afterwards, price gapped up, gap up with volume over here, and then it did I would think it's a flag, it's a range bound over here, low volume. In terms of the MACD, I was looking, there's also some bullish divergence as well, higher low, uh, despite a lower low being formed. Yeah. So I would think for Adobe, if you can get out of this range, like 198 over here, 20 MA over here, then I think there could be a possibility of a rebound to fill this gap over here. So the next resistance will be probably 210 to 218. I feel this level is the gap. So for Oracle, yeah. So for now, range bound. If it breaks out, you most likely I think there's some upside. For Oracle. Then if it breaks below 192, then we most likely will see 186 again. Yeah. So now it's just range bound and see the direction of the breakout. But I feel that looking in terms of the price action, most likely could be breaking upwards. I feel. Yeah. Yeah, so that's for Oracle. Next one, Grab. Yeah, for Grab. I think generally still relatively range bound, not no strength yet. Since the breakdown of 5.5, previous resistance breakout, then there was a breakdown and just quite range bound. Yeah, and quite low. Yeah, but good is still holding the range lah, 4.8. So for this, I think for it to rebound, I think first thing to see, try to break out of this 5.2 level. Then next resistance 5.5 again. Then for now support, I think will still likely hold 4.8. So I think most likely still just range bound in a range for Grab. Yeah, then below 4.8, if it breaks below 4.8, then that will be bearish. Next support will be like 4.5 swing low. Okay, next question. MM Tech and iBio. Okay, for MM Tech, this one thing to know is very low volume lah. So this over can see over chart there was like 300 plus million volume. Then after that now it's currently 17K as on Friday. So for D it might not be accurate because I think the price can fluctuate quite easily. But in terms of the charts, I would think it's slowly creeping back upwards and key to see whether for the key yeah, it could be a bit like an ascending triangle lah. So consistent resistance at 3.6 and then higher swing lows along the way. So for this, the key would be to see whether the swing lows continue to form, continue to hold. So 3.11 here is important to hold. As long as the 20 MA level over here. So still consolidation, but if you can get past 3.6, then there could be a break upwards for this counter. Yeah. So the next, if there's a breakout of 3.6, the resistance, I think for it, looking at previous levels, maybe around 4.3, 4.4 lah, this area previously. The next one, iBio, same thing, also high volume, then suddenly now it's low volume. For now, structure-wise, still okay, 1.7 is previous resistance still holding as support, range bound for now. So for it to go upwards, it needs to break out of 2.1, this resistance. And there's still quite a lot of resistance upwards, I feel. It's like after 2.1, there's 2.4, and after it's 2.8. So there's a few levels for iBio. So most likely it could be a bit range, and I feel yeah. So for this, I think in terms of TA wise, maybe can't provide as much insights because of the volume. It's quite low. But in terms of the charts, I think that's what I can comment on. Yeah, hope it helps. Next question. BYD, Procter Gamble, and AIPR. Okay, so first one, BYD. BYD, I think overall is the downtrend is still continuing on. Short term wise is a range over here. Generally range between like 93 to about like 100 about here. So nothing much for now. I feel it's still a range. But overall, no signs of any reversal yet. Then one thing to note that the support must hold at this swing low like 92.5 around there. So if it doesn't hold, then it will likely go for the next support like 88, like around 88.8. Yeah. So still range bound, but yeah, the support must hold. If not, we'll likely see a continuation of the downtrend. Next one, Procter Gamble, also in a downtrend. So recently retest 146 support breakdown, face resistance, then holding back. So for now, I think yeah, we could still see price continue to stay a bit weak, I feel, towards to maybe retest. If it continues to stay below like 140, 250 this swing low, then maybe we'll see a retest of this 138 again. Then 136 is another horizontal level previously. Yeah, so PNG still overall still down, gradual downtrend. Yeah, since like March last year. And then for IIPR, in innovative industrial properties, yeah, this one volume also quite low. Yeah, generally Okay, currently since the downwards move is just range bound, so generally it's still range bound. Nothing has changed. Towards the end of December, there was ready to test resistance at 55.50, still met with the resistance sell down with strong selling. After that, looks like a bit sideways at this area of 48. So I think over here might see some consolidation. Resistance for now is probably 50, like somewhere close to 52, this horizontal level, and support likely hold 48 for now. So I think range bound. Yeah. Then if it fails to hold 47, then it might revert back down towards the low end of the range, like 43 around there. Uh this swing goes, yeah. So relative still very range bound overall. Short term wise, a bit sideways after some selling. The next one is Mara, Raya, and PTPT. For Mara Holdings, okay, for this, as overall weak, but maybe some short term rebound. I feel if you can hold 990, Friday tested in, and today there's a bit of a gap up. So you can hold 990, there could be some short term rebound with resistance. I feel maybe around 10 MA right now, 10.7, then followed by around 11.3 perhaps. Yeah. So overall still downtrend, but if you can hold 9.9, maybe some slight rebound to some of these levels, some of these recent levels. And for Riot, also for now a bit range bound. Support is like 12 points, around 12.5. Then yeah, so today wise, I think it might go to test like 15, this resistance, 15 to this like 16, I think will still hold as a resistance. So it should be still quite, it could be still kept within this range itself over here. Okay, I see your question in the chat. Hi Steve, is the sharing recorded? Yeah, it's being recorded. So it'll be uploaded on PhillipCapital YouTube page tomorrow lah. So you can view the recording at your own pace afterwards. So for Riot, yeah, most likely range bound and still facing resistance at some of the recent levels. And for BTBT, yeah, same thing lah. Also range for now. So a bit of a gap up like 2.11 right now, but I think resistance is like 2.16, and then next one is like 2.35, 2.44. So still quite range bound. Next one is Moderna and Salesforce. Okay, for Moderna, I think yeah, for this, I think going into quite a range for a long time would be like a big double bottom if you think about it. It's like one bottom is here, then another bottom is here with the neckline resistance at 34.4. Yeah, but there's no confirmation yet. So for now, okay, maybe I just draw the bottom for easier to see. And this is the key resistance. Yeah. So for now, I think as of now is I think it's still okay because the break of this range like 28.60, this has helped continue to hold above it. So if you can continue to hold this as support, do some range consolidation near the range afterwards, subsequently if you can break out 34 afterwards, then I think it'll be positive for some further upside. But for now, most likely range still quite range bound. Then short-term resistance like 30, most likely 32.60 onwards. Then support 28.60. Next one, Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce, I think the strong resistance is still like 265 over here. Yeah, since the recovery above 234, price went up to test 265. Uh, yeah, so over here, I think need to see whether 251, 250 250, 251, this area holds as a, this window support can hold. So the, yeah, if, uh, yeah, so this needs to hold for like to continue like a review of range at a higher level for it to potentially go higher to break out 265. If 250 fails to hold, then we'll most likely see price go towards like 243 again. So I think this swing low is quite important to see whether it holds as support because generally still very range bound for now. And two above 265 is 274 is the next level. Okay, hi Alan, your counters, good evening. Your counters are Upstart, Path, and Health. Okay, first one Upstart. Okay, Upstart, I think overall is still downtrend over here. You can see breakdowns facing resistance. So recently, like it's like 48 breakdown facing resistance sideways over here. So for this, I think most likely I think will be still be range bound, I feel, in the short term. Yeah, support maybe around 42, 42 around here. So if this can hold this, if this can hold, then there might be some 40 between range bound between 42 50. Yeah. So this needs to hold for some potential to try to reverse ours. But for now, I think nothing much, I feel. Should be still range bound currently. Above 50 key, next key level is at 54.70 about that. For next one, UI path. Yeah, for UI path, I think this one, uh, yeah, some currently is in the pullback after the double top over here, like after 1870. So range bound, so like 1570 to 1730. So we need to see the direction of the break of the range. So if it breaks below 1570, most likely we see a gap fill. And to test, then the next support is like 1470 lah. So then if it holds, then to break out 1730, next one with 1870 again. So still quite range bound for now, I think. Then you see the direction where it breaks. Yeah. Next one, Elf Beauty for this. Yeah, so following the earnings gap down, just quite nothing much happening, just sideways, quite sideways over here. Yeah, so I think for this currently is generally between 69 to 81. If for now some higher low, you can if you can keep up 76, then there could be potential to break 81 to test like 80, 90 to 95. But for now, nothing much I feel. Still range bound. Yeah. So 76 needs to hold. Yeah. If not, if it doesn't hold, then it could go back to 69, for L. Next one is Maple Tree Industrial Trust and Maple Tree Logistics Trust, some Singapore REITs. Okay, so for Mint Maple Tree Industrial Trust, I think most likely it's still range consolidation since the pullback in end October. So resistance are still around 209. Then support is holding $202. So I think still nothing much range consolidation for now. And if it breaks about 209, next level of resistance like around 213, 214. Yeah. And below $2 is 195. So I think still nothing much. Should be still quite range bound for now. Then for MLT, Mapletree Logistics Trust, for MLT, also quite range bound for now. Yeah, so overall, still a gradual uptrend. Then yeah, just moving sideways for now. So the key is to see 127 is to hold because this was like break of resistance and subsequently holding as support for this range. Then 133, still some resistance to 135. So be above 130. Above that, the next key resistance is probably close to 139. So I think still range, but overall the bullish structure is still intact as long as 127 still holds. Yeah, then if it breaks, if you can form a higher high, the next level of resistance will be 139. But for now, most likely still kept in the range, I feel. Next question is on MP, Surf, and Tilray. Yeah, for MP, I think still after the pullback, I think most generally just range bound. We tested, there was a retest of the swing low around $50.50 last week, some rebound. Then and yeah, testing the resistance at 50, around 55. So if this clears, then potentially it could go a bit higher to test the next level resistance like 50, around 58, around $58 plus. Yeah. So for now, then over here, previous support breakdown might tend to resistance. So I think overall it will be still quite range. When it comes to this $55 to $58, it could be still quite choppy as well. Overall, it's a range as well. So I think nothing much for MP right now. This one, Surf Robotics. Okay, for Surf Robotics, in terms of the charts, so pull back to test $10 over here, held support range bound. Friday close above this $11 level. So short term wise, still there could be some resistance. 12.40. Yeah, so it might be some resistance over here. Then above that is like around close to $14. Yeah. So yeah, could be higher, but may pull back a bit from here. So I think generally still quite range for this Surf Robotics. Then next one, Tilray. Yeah, for Tilray, yeah, since the pullback, there's some support like maybe 18860 to 890, some slight rebound over here. So there might be some slight rebound, but resistance might come like around close to $10.30. The horizontal breakdown level as well as like close to 10 MA. Afterwards might come if it might do some range bound over here. Yeah, that's for Tilray, I feel. Okay, hi Sharon, Happy New Year. Two support and resistance for ANET call with Palantir. Is it a buy for Palantir right now? Okay, first one I'll talk about Arista, then Huawei, then talk about Palantir next. So first one, Arista Networks. So is I think for now it's a range. It's a range bound. It could be a ascending triangle also over here. So range previous support breakdown 140 likely still hold as resistance over here. So could be still sideways trading over here, I feel. Yeah. Then short term wise, a bit better with higher swing lows along the way and also like a higher low build up, like 130, some support over here. So could be still very range bound in the short term, I feel. Yeah, then needs more confirmation to stand above 140, then that yeah, cool. go a bit higher. But for now, I think nothing much will happen. Then above 140, next key resistance 150. So I think still need to see, because above the retest, I think we'll still face some resistance from this range breakdown. Then call with, oh yeah, it's two support and resistance level. So 140, there could be some resistance 140, then one close to 150, some gap over here as well, horizontal level as well. Supports wise, for now 131. Then next one lower is like 127 here. Yeah, for restart. For core width, I think it's a range. For now, still bearish because this breakdown previously $86, 85, $86 still holding its resistance, then just moving the range. So I think yeah, could be still range one unless we see a clear breakout of $90, then it could go high. Then afterwards, if that happens, then we could see it go high. So for now, resistance is still somewhere around 87, $90. And above that, I would think it's 100 and this gap over here, like 103, 104, also horizontal level. In terms of support, currently some support is like this 72, 73 last week swing low. Afterwards, 65, the range support over here. So I think still pretty much range bound unless we see a clear break of direction. Then lastly for Palantir, I think it's a bit weak in terms of the charts. Quite volatile, but overall it's a slightly weak right now because I think above 187, there's still quite a lot of resistance from, especially if you look at the charts from after November, where after the earnings, there was a gap down, and then here it faced resistance. When it came back here, it faced resistance again, end of December. And then I don't really like the price action over here because price was going upwards steadily. Then over here, we see multiple breakdowns because this breakdown 187 as well as 10 MA. Afterwards, last week also breakdown 178 swing low on Friday itself. So two double tests and then broke on Friday. So I wouldn't think it's a buy for Palantir right now unless it gets to a bit lower levels, then I would concede. I think it would be a better buy. Yeah, in terms of support wise, I think for some there might be some quick bounces if it does test 163, this swing low, like this horizontal level. And then I would think the safer buy would be somewhere close to 149 again, this swing low. Yeah, which tested like some few times where there was a bit of higher rebound. So 163, 149, some supports. In terms of resistance, 177 right now. And then maybe 184 as the next resistance. Yeah. So I think that's for Palantir. Next one, silver. Okay. Yeah. So for silver, just now, I talked about it. For silver, I think generally to watch would be the 10 MA level, currently 72.7, like around 72.70. Because overall, since the strong rally, price has been holding 10 MA, especially during the pullback over here. So this is one level. If it breaks below that, most likely we could see some further pullbacks. Another confirmation will be 70.5 support level over here. This needs to hold. Short term wise, I'm expecting some range, kind of range bound with resistance mainly around 79 to 83. Next one is GE Healthcare and Carrier Global. For GE Healthcare, I think the chart is okay. I feel okay. Yeah, so in terms of the chart, there was a big range consolidation here, then broke out of the resistance at around 79 to $80, move upwards and doing another consolidation right now. So I think that's okay. Most likely still quite range bound for now. Yeah, preferably like in 170 here needs to hold this level. Yep. So if this holds, it will be better than uh, probably 82 to 86 consolidation right now. Yeah, then above if you can break out of 86, then next that will be 89, then followed by 93, 94. So then yeah, below 82 is 79. Yeah, so I think for now still range bound. Then 82 needs to hold for it to look better. Yeah, for the range to potentially try to continue the higher highs. Next one, Carrier Global. Just ignore the lower line. So for this, it's a downtrend right now. Range consolidation. 55 is like the support breakdown turn resistance. So I think for now still range between like 52 to 55. Nothing much. If you can break over 55, the next key level will be like 57s over here. And below 52, if it breaks below 52, then that will be quite bearish. Potentially test 50 again or continue the lower low. Yeah, so that's for Carrier Global right now. Okay, hi Bruno. Your questions is Tempest AI and SoundHound. Yeah, for Tempest AI, I think it's a bit still bearish for now because we see the uptrend turn to downtrend, low high, lower lows. And for now, breakdown of 65 recently, and yeah, so I think with that, if it does retest somewhere like 60, this like 67, 68, this will be like some resistance. Most likely, we could still see the downtrend continue if it breaks below 58, 80. Yeah, the next stronger support would be the horizontal levels here, like between 53 to 50, 56 over here for Tempest. And for SoundHound, yeah, I think so pullback and then currently is doing range bound. So generally between like 10.30 to $13. So I think this $10 really needs to hold to maintain the range. Then some resistance for now is 11.50 in between. So generally, I think still quite range bound. But if it breaks the support again, then we could be looking at a lower low towards like $9 next. Yeah. Okay, next one is CLS, COMM, and CRDOs. First one, Celestica, CLS. Okay, for Celestica, I think overall is still overall is uptrend. Then right now is range consolidation. So I think that's quite normal. Uh, yeah, just quite a well-defined range, 266 to 353. So I think for right now, nothing too much. Just most probably still have in this range for now first. The next one, CommScope Holding. Uh, for this overall is uptrend. Yeah, then recently we testing this um like around not close to $18 some support. So this needs to hold for it to try to rebound back towards like $19 and $20 $20.50 about there. Yeah, if this fails to hold, then next one is like 1680 for CommScope. So this a bit range, then kind of range for quite some time, then it goes up a bit. Yeah, for this. Then this one is Credo. for Credo Tech. For this, I think it's still quite range bound for now as well. So key support still around 128, 129. Short term wise, nothing much, also quite range bound. Yeah, just 155, and then above 155, next key level maybe is around like 167, then 176. For now, then 12, yeah, just quite range bound for now for Widow as well. Next one, MSI ETHV. Next one, Motorola Solutions. Okay, for this, I think overall still a downtrend. 366. This is a key level, still holding as support. But still unable to get past this breakdown, 386. So still range bound 366 to 386. Yeah, for it to try to have some chance of going upwards, I think we need to see 376 hold over here. If this can hold a higher low, then there could be a potential for it to go higher towards like some levels above 386. But for now, so I still think range one overall is a weak trend, downtrend over here as well. If 376 doesn't hold, then most likely we see 366 again. Yeah, 3 more minutes. I'll try to go through about maybe 1 or 2 more counters. Next one, ETHV. Yeah, for this NX Ethereum ETF, for this I think we could be seeing some overall it's a bit of a range, but yeah, so I think generally the good thing is that $40 held as support, previous range resistance. So currently it's a bit like a double bottom. Then yeah, some high volume on Friday. If it gets past 46, then there's a chance of it to go to 50.4 in this swing high. Yeah, so I think overall it's still in the range over here. Yeah, for this Ethereum ETF. Yeah, still quite range bound. But looking a bit better, if you can hold 44 and hold 46, then it could go to 50 again. Okay, next one, hi Wing Hong. Your question, Eli Lilly. Okay, for Eli Lilly, I think overall it's still uptrend. After the strong rally, I think for now it's just range consolidation. Yeah, you can see, yeah, 1,100 1111 is slightly still some resistance. Then very small body candles, so it's not much range happening. So just quite range bound, I feel. Yeah, then some support for now, probably recent swing low around 1,040. Okay, I think I will talk about one more question on United Health. This question, my thoughts on United Health is 320 a buy. Okay. My thoughts on United Health. Okay, I think it's still I think for me personally, I think there could be still a chance of it going up, breaking above 340 lah. I think I said this in December, but it hasn't happened. Tested a few times of this recent. Now it's the fourth time. But overall, I think still okay because it's still some higher lows and generally has maintained 320 over here. So yeah, so I think if hopefully if there's a breakout 340 again, then you can test 353 now. Again, this previous breakdown. Yeah. So if 320 a buy, for now I wouldn't be looking to buy at 320, I feel, because there could be a chance of a breakdown. If it really comes back down here again, then there could be a chance like to go 312 or lower. So if it fails, then I will just I think I'll observe first. Stronger support level maybe is around 312 if it really fails, if you really show weakness in this part on. Yeah. So yeah, that's my thoughts on United Health. Okay, it's about 9:15. Yeah, then I'll just go through some questions that some have on the seminar. So there's a question, any upcoming seminar to share top Singapore and Hong Kong picks for 2026? Okay, good question. So good thing is that this Saturday, which is, let me see, 10 January. So there will be like the Singapore first quarter strategy and stock picks event. So that will be by me and my colleagues. So we talk about the Singapore stock picks to share about for this quarter and as well as this year overall. So there will be a physical as well as a Zoom session. Feel free to tune in. I think it's a morning 10 a.m. if I'm not wrong. Then for Hong Kong one, I think it's next week, sometime next week. There's also a strategy and stock pick. So there'll be some other countries as well, like uh, the US markets, Indonesia, Japan, all this as well. So it's all the schedule is on our Poem's website. Yeah, just feel free to join our webinars. Thanks. It's a good question. Next one, for precious metals, what's your thoughts, especially silver? I think for now, most likely, I think some range bound because we generally end of the year to start the year, there's been a very huge rally now. And then I think in terms of precious metal, I think they raised some of the margins recently as well. So I think that might cool off the rally a bit. And generally, after a strong rally, most likely in terms of TA, expect to see some range consolidation in the short term before another trend takes place. So that's my thoughts. Silver, I think, yeah, just now I also talked about it, probably range bound for the short term. Yeah, so I think there's still some questions I haven't got the time to answer. Apologies about that, but feel free to post your questions in the Poems 3 community chat. So then I can take it over there. So maybe I'll stop sharing my screen right now. Let me just share some links in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I've shared a survey form. So you can fill in any feedback about today's session if you have how you can improve your session or anything that you like about today's session, you can feel I will appreciate if you put in your comments. And also if you haven't joined, feel free to join our Poem 3 community on TA. If you haven't, can download using the link over there. And feel free to ask any TA questions you have. And also I'll drop the Poems Telegram group handle at Poems TA in the chat as well. So if you haven't joined the Telegram group, you can feel free to join. Welcome, and then I'll put some TA content over there. If I have any trade recommendations. Yeah, so that's it for today. Yeah, it's the first webinar of the year. Hope everyone have a good time, have a good year in the markets. And also, yeah, all the best. And then I hope to see you again in the next webinar, which is next Monday. Yeah. So that's all for today. Goodbye, everyone, and safe trading for this week. Yeah.